Great. Right, now I think we're live. So hello everybody, thanks for joining me this morning. We've just gone lunchtime. So for those of you joining us from the homeschool community, this is the first of a series of interviews we're going to be doing with experts in their field, people we have worked with before, maybe in some cases with Susanna, but often just people who we think can add some value to the work we're doing at Happy Startup School. So today I'm delighted to welcome Susanna Halonen from the Happyologist. Hello, Susanna.
Hi, I'm very pleased to be here.
glad you could join me. It is the first day of winter today, I'm told. So as you might be able to see, I'm sporting my one of my Christmas jumpers. So there we go.
Amazing.
Yes. And yeah, I think the weather's got the message too, because it's got a bit colder these last few days. So yeah, it's good that we're indoors. But Susanna's joining me today because we wanted to talk a little bit about passion and why we thought, well, certainly with the work we do, but we certainly see that passion is key to any entrepreneurial venture. And so I just wanted to introduce you to Susanna first of all, and she'll be able to tell you about the work that we do, but also then maybe dive deeper into, why it's valuable for any startup to sort of feed that into their business, really. So Susanna, I just wanted to maybe do an intro to yourself and tell us a little bit about the work you do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I'm also known as the Happyologist. So that's basically the name of my business. And what I do is I coach individuals and also teams in organizations to basically help them set the right goals, come up with an action plan on how to reach them, and then really work alongside them so they can really be on the right path towards them. And as a positive psychology practitioner, I bring a lot of different types of positive psychology tools to basically help people make sure that they enjoy the journey, they're most passionate, they're most positive, they're most productive, and bringing in all this science of happiness and performance into all the work I do. And I guess this year as well I've become a writer because I released my first book, which is about passion, and it's called Screw Finding Your Passion. It's within you, let's unlock it.
Awesome. And I understand that was it the Kindle version's been out, but you've got a physical book coming out soon, right?
Yes, that's right. So it's out on Amazon Kindle and also Apple iBooks, and the physical version should be coming out, hopefully by end of this week, fingers crossed.
Awesome. So yeah, just take a step back a bit. You've set up your own business now. You're an entrepreneur yourself. So what's it led you to this in terms of why do you think passion is key for anyone starting out in a new venture such as this?
Yeah, well, I think passion is such a powerful force of positive energy that it's really important to have it if you really want to truly succeed. Because the entrepreneurial journey, as I've discovered myself, it can be a lot more challenging than you originally thought, and it can sometimes be, lonely. There's lots of ups and downs. There's lots of learning and things you really need to keep up to speed with, and lots of surprises always coming your way. So you do need a lot of confidence, a lot of resilience, and kind of drive and determination to keep going. And I think passion is that main source of positive energy that kind of brings all of this in and brings it all together. Because when you really learn to unlock that inner positive energy that really basically sits inside of you, then it's much easier to stay determined, to stay focused, and really to stay motivated despite having ups and downs, and to really keep going. So I really think passion is the key ingredient when it comes to being an entrepreneur.
Sure. And would you say you've been in roles before where you didn't have that? Has that led you to this in terms of finding your passion?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, I come from a corporate background originally, and being there, I really realized, even though it seemed to be very comfortable and I was still growing and learning a lot and relatively enjoying it, but I realized that real kind of fire and that passion wasn't just there, and that was really what led me to actually research it in more depth and then set up Happyologist. Awesome.
And so how long have you been going as the Happyologist?
How long?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing it about 2 years now. So it's been really exciting. I've been doing it full time for about 1.5 years now, since I finished my master's in positive psychology, because I really wanted to specialize in that field once I found it. And it's really interesting. Definitely still learning a lot, and lots of fine tuning going on all the time. But I mean, yeah. I couldn't be more passionate.
Well, it's good that you're sort of walking the walk as well as talking the talk.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, you mentioned a bit in I think in the book and also in some of your blog posts about the term "follow your passion" and maybe why that's a flawed concept. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I think passion isn't something that you necessarily have to follow. It's actually something that you unlock. And that's because passion is really a form of energy and it sits inside of you. And that means that you can actually choose to unlock it and bring it out whenever you want, wherever you want, if you choose to do that. And the message around follow your passion that's been, around for quite some time, it kind of implies that you can only be passionate about one thing, which can be very limiting. And because of this phrase, sometimes people really just go and focus all their energies on one thing to the extent that it becomes obsessive. And that's been actually psychologically studied as well. And this is when people often, they forget to take care of themselves, they forget to, make time for their friends or their family, they forget to appreciate anything else because all they know is this one passion, this one thing. And they kind of get in a little bit of a tunnel vision, which is actually dangerous and less helpful for your happiness. And this really isn't healthy. And then there's all these other challenges with that message as well, because, for example, what if you don't know what your kind of one passion is? A lot of people get stuck into this kind of indecision paralysis because they don't know exactly what that one passion is, that they can't do anything or go anywhere before they find that. And similarly, people who think they have, multiple passions or they really enjoy a lot of different things and they're like, oh, maybe that could be it or maybe that could be it. But because they have so many options, again, they're a bit stuck and they're kind of afraid of taking a step in any direction. And then there's also the argument that what if you actually don't have, the resources, the time, whatever the money or the even geographical location to actually follow that one thing that you think is your passion? I mean, does that mean it's a done deal for you and you can't really do it? So I think the message that I try to really get across is that because passion is a form of positive energy, you don't need to find it per se in one activity. You can choose to live your whole life with it. And there are certain things you can do to basically educate yourself how to unlock your passion throughout your life, and of course then bring it really into your startup and into your entrepreneurial journey as well.
Right, that's great. And so, I mean, like you said, you think it's actually, even though you might unlock something within you, doing something you love, getting that passion every day is trying to balance that with actually stepping back too, right? Because obviously, even though you're doing something you love, doesn't mean that you don't need to have that work-life balance that you need to do good work, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And then, because also from personal experience, I kind of followed the follow your passion message in originally because horses is something that I loved and it's something I really pursued, and I tried to do it full time and I actually realized it killed my passion for it. I stopped enjoying it because it kind of became my work, and that's when I realized that the message wasn't really as straightforward as I originally thought, and that's why I decided to just keep horses on the side as enjoyment, still competing, still doing it very actively, but then focusing on something else in terms of my career and my calling, that I still, can inject my passion energy in as well.
Yeah, so you still love horses.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's the same as me. I'm a big music fan. I was in a band many years ago, and I think back then I thought that would be the dream job, to be in a band for life and to be traveling around the world playing in bands. But after a few sort of late nights in pubs, it didn't feel like as glamorous as I thought it might be. And I found my passion in other ways, let's say it that way.
Yeah.
And so this week we're going to be talking to the community about purpose. So that follows on neatly from what we've been talking around, really, in terms of how important do you think purpose is to leading a more fulfilling life and maybe a more resilient business.
Yeah, I mean, I think purpose is another kind of critical element, and that's where purpose and passion are very aligned. I mean, when I talk about the 5 kind of key elements which unlock your passion in my book, one of the core ingredients is purpose, because basically understanding the why behind what you do is that key driving force. And when you are having those ups and downs and those challenges, reminding yourself of why you're actually doing it is what keeps you going. And that's, like you said, that's what makes you more resilient. It's much easier to bounce back when you remind yourself of actually the purpose behind everything. So that's definitely something that I work with a lot of my clients as well, trying to really get them to identify, you know, what is the purpose, what is the why, what is the kind of impact they're looking to create, and really get people to think about, you know, this purpose and positive impact on a more specific scale, because a lot of people think, oh, like, you know, I need to think macro and think about how I'm going to, you know, cure cancer or abolish poverty or something like that. But it's about having purpose to you as well. Like, what are the meaningful connections that you can make in your current life, and how can you really bring those into your business, into your startup, and into your entrepreneurial journey? Because purpose is something that's very unique to you and personal to you. So it's, as long as you basically understand your motivations and your drivers, that's the core basically idea with purpose.
Sure. And would you say that you found your purpose, you know, was it like a Eureka moment, or would you say it's come to you over time? Because I know certainly with us and the work we do that it was almost like an evolution of ideas and situations which led us to it, rather than this kind of, like you talked about, some kind of spark that leads to that. How did you find that?
I mean, I had a bit of both. I mean, I did have a little bit of an epiphany a couple years ago, basically, when I was trying to figure out what to do, whether to stay in my corporate career or change. And it was actually in a coaching session, and that was one of the things that inspired me to become a coach, was this session, because I had this epiphany of kind of what I wanted, what kind of impact I wanted to create. Now, obviously, then it wasn't really like fine-tuned like it is now, but it was this idea of working with positive psychology and helping people to, you know, find happiness, and understand that happiness fuels success and not the other way around. And that was kind of the initial spark. And then, yeah, over time, it's definitely been an evolution. And there are, you know, sometimes that I focus on like one angle of my purpose, so like working more with one-to-one, and then there are sometimes I work more with organizations or charities and helping them. So, but it's still like kind of that overarching purpose of basically helping people find more happiness and live more passionate lives.
Sure. I mean, that's what we think, is it kind of opens you up to doing lots of different things that actually fulfill the same goal. So it's, you're not tied to a product or service that you offer. And like you said, you're writing a book, you've got a blog, you coach people, you do speaking. So it's kind of, but all with the same message, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. And so it's amazing how quick these sessions go. Yeah. We're almost up to 15 minutes. So yeah, quite a few people joining us in their lunch break, I think. So I'm conscious of not keeping them from their food. So before you head off and go off to probably promoting the book, I'm guessing, do you have any tips for people out there to bring any more passion into their work if they're struggling to, you know, maybe get excited about going to work each day? What are any simple tips that you could give them to take away? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I've got 5 tips, so I'll try and go through them quite quickly. And the first is really about understanding kind of how you can keep bringing your authentic self to work, you know, be it in your current career or in your startup journey. And for me, that's really reminding yourself of your values and beliefs and how you can make sure they're basically aligned with what you do, or how you can make things more aligned with it, or really remind yourself, okay, so how is this basically aligned with my value and how that's driving me. The second, well, we talked about purpose a lot already, but it's really about reminding yourself of that why behind what you do and the kind of the impact you're looking to create. And the third, so this is really about embracing a learning and growth journey. As humans, we're very dynamic and we're continuously evolving. Our identities are continuously evolving as well. And that's why we love to learn and to grow. And that's why learning and growing is one of the things that also unlocks your passion. You know, always being open to challenging yourself, to trying new things, to kind of having an adventure daily, and really looking to kind of master yourself and your personal development. The fourth is really about connecting with your tribe. And I think that's one of the reasons why like the Happy Startup School is so amazing as well, because it brings so many kind of like-minded people together who are all doing all these different, you know, startups and entrepreneurial stuff, but they're all kind of have this same ethos of, yeah, I want to run a happy startup. Because connecting with like-minded people, again, is something that really lights up that fire. You encourage each other, you inspire each other, you help each other out. And I think that's again another key ingredient of unlocking that passion. And last but not least is really about making sure that you're putting your natural strengths to good use. So really the abilities that come really easy to you, the things that are innate in you, the things that people often praise you for, but you haven't even noticed that you've used them because they come so naturally to you. And really trying to use those strengths in different ways as much as you can is another kind of key of lighting that passion fire.
Awesome. So yeah, that's good timing because we gave them a little strengths exercise this week. So hopefully they're now all armed with their superpowers to
exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant, Susanna. I really appreciate you joining me today, and thanks for the time to speak to everyone. And if people are interested to follow up with you and ask any questions, maybe if they had anything from today, any way they can get in touch with you?
Yeah. My email is simply Susanna, so it's SUSANNA at happyologist.co.uk. I'm also at Twitter, which is a more Finnish nickname, Suskyh, SUSKYH. And then, of course, my website, happyologist.co.uk. So, yeah, feel free to get in touch and happy to chat more.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, best of luck with the book and everything you're up to in the near future. And, yeah, thanks again.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, cheers, Susanna. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.